And good morning, LinkedIn Live. It's Rachel, and here we are with Smart Impressions this morning, where you go on a little journey for 15 minutes of your Tuesday morning to really get 3 tips from professionals around the globe and what you could do to actually make a better impression for yourself, for your business, to your customers, and to the world. So today we have a special guest, CEO from America, who is actually living in Dubai right now. Robbie Abed, thank you so much. CEO of No Middle. Pleasure to have you here on the call today. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Rachel. Pleasure to be on.
Cool. Well, I like to get everyone excited and woken up on Tuesday morning. There's people all over the Gulf joining us today, and this is streaming live. So we invite you to actually join the conversation, get your thoughts, questions involved in our room. And we've already got a visitor this morning. Good morning, Mohammed. I like to share your good morning across the screen.
Good morning, Mohammed. How are you doing? Good morning.
How you doing?
Always like good morning.
Cool. So today's topic is all about brand brilliance. And so, Robbie, I love this because you are an expert when it comes to branding, go to market, concepts, how businesses break into markets, especially new markets. And I want to talk about branding today. You hear it all the time, branding, but is this something that businesses should be doing? Is it something individuals should be doing? What do you think?
Listen, I'll give you an example. I didn't post on LinkedIn for maybe a year, because you get busy with work, with everything else, and it's there. And when I came back on, I'd say maybe 2 months ago, everything changed overnight. And I think that's the power of it, is that the people that you want to do business with are on LinkedIn. And the funny thing is, the way I look at it is like this, because people are always like, well, how do I get customers? How do I do this? How do I talk to these people? How do we get opportunities? And when is the last time, Rachel, you've removed somebody from LinkedIn? When's the last time you removed somebody from LinkedIn?
Only to make more space for more people that matter. That's the only time that happens, right?
Yeah.
So again, the demographic that you're trying to appeal to, right? So
the
community you're trying to build.
Yeah,
but you're right.
And here
we're not deleting.
it's like once you're connected with somebody, you're kind of connected with them for life, and that's the power of it, is that you have a constant channel to the people that you want to do business with or build a community with, and that's the thing that people need to understand. So I've used it mainly for I've just posting my own thoughts, posting what's happening in Dubai, posting what's happening in Saudi Arabia. In the amount of executives, I'm like CEOs, I'm like partners of Big Four consulting firms have reached out to me like privately. They don't like the post, they don't engage with the post, they don't share the post, but they message me privately about it. And I think that's the power of it, is that so many people talk about the views and likes and that, and that's all gravy. But the people that slide into your DMs, as they say, that's the power of it. And a lot of it happens more than you imagine, but it only happens when you start being active on LinkedIn.
Totally. And I know you're familiar with automation. Let's talk about automation for a second, because if you're listening, you probably are a salesperson or someone looking for, to connect with other people on this platform. I applaud you to joining our LinkedIn Live, because it's a great way to connect. And like Robbie said, build this community. These automations are available to really leverage your time. What do you think about that? Because how does that support you with that branding brilliance that you're trying to achieve?
And it's kind of a slippery slope, a little bit. Like I've used in the past, and now I don't use them as much as I do. But it does work when done very strategically, for the right people. And it really just comes back to who are you actually trying to connect with? And here's the deal especially with the LinkedIn DMs and spam, was everybody gets the spam mails. The higher up the food chain, the corporate chain you are, the more you get them. And the thing is people just delete them so fast, and people think, and that's why I send these messages. I see, because I am a huge fan of just cold outreach and reaching out and building connections. That's how I build my business, and I still build my business like that. But one sentence max. If you can't say it in a sentence, or what is your ask in 1-2 sentences, then it's done. But these tools are, when used in ration, I'd say, not kind of spray all type thing, work wonderfully. But who are the people that you want to connect with. And even, even for me, like connecting with people, it's kind of like, when I just want to connect with somebody, I just connect with them. I don't put a message. I don't say this or, hey, I do this for X, because people just ignore that and assume you're just going to sell them something. So when I just connect, I don't even put a message in the invite. Sometimes I do, but I always see people on LinkedIn say, oh, you got to customize and personalize. I think honestly, the goal here is just to connect with them, right? Because once you connect with them, they kind of have no idea how you met them. But then you have a constant channel for life. And I think that's the way to look at it. It's like, don't sell them, but imagine that's a connection for life as long as you're posting.
I love that. Once you connect on LinkedIn, they are in your world for the rest of your life.
For the rest of their life.
Yes. Which is incredible. And the probability of getting rid of them or them getting rid of you is very unlikely. As we said, people most likely are not deleting. So I love that. I want to say good morning to Manchester. Mohammed's here. A big shout out to anyone that joins. And hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
we got Mr. Shazad, man. He's my guy.
Awesome.
I'm glad he took care of me. I used to work in the UK for Accenture, and he was there, and he took care of me. So I'm glad he's watching.
Good morning.
Well, it's kind of early for him. Yeah.
we got Europe in the room, which is great. Good morning, Amsterdam. And we love to kind of get your questions and engage with you while you're here. We got 15 minutes on the clock, so they count down very quick, just quick to the point. Listen, Robbie, you were just talking about how you didn't go on LinkedIn. And there are a lot of people that don't go on LinkedIn to post, right? But I want to mention this and go into this. What are people doing? Like, now that you are posting, give me a little bit more about the purpose. If many people aren't posting, where are the advantages that you think are, on this platform? Not only just connecting with others based on their job titles, but how many people are lurking? What do you think?
Oh, how many people are lurking? That's a good question. A lot of, like, the higher up the chain, the more they lurk, but I don't have any data, but the higher up the chain, the more they're on LinkedIn, I'd say, but the less they comment, and when they want something, when they reach out, they'll reach out, and it's kind of like you're building, you're kind of building an audience, but you have no idea. That's the hard part about it, is that people they like the instant, they like the likes and the stuff like that, but it's, tons of lurkers. I think that's the power are the lurkers are actually the ones that are going to do business with you. I think that's kind of the ironic part of it. The more they lurk, the more likely they are to eventually do business with you. You just have to be able to see it through.
Amazing. And a big welcome to Miriam, who's here. Hey, she's a good contact that I've had for over a decade in Dubai. Amazing professional who has incredible brand brilliance when it comes to women, femininity, and basically shifting with the moon and how you're going to work better with the moon to drive better results in your life. So good morning to Miriam. And we got another LinkedIn good morning from Dubai without a name. So it must be someone you might be connected to, because I don't see them yet. But this is a great thing. We're talking about connections. We're talking about how you stand out online, especially when it comes to LinkedIn and others, even if they're not posting. So let's talk a little bit more about some tips, Robbie. What do you think people should be doing? Okay, you're connecting. You mentioned you don't have to spend so much time writing the exact, customized message when you send an invitation or a connection. What else do you think is really valuable, and how people should be using this to increase their brand?
I think the higher you up you are the food chain, like the corporate chain, the more real you should be. It's kind of like, because it's very clear who's trying to game the system, and who's trying to build like a community, but it's very clear who's gaming the system, who's real, and so the more you post your real thoughts, the better off that you are, and the more controversial, you can post without getting fired or canceled, is wonderful, because that's when you get a lot of people that will DM you, who will say like, oh, thank God you said that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the thing, is that the more true you are to like who you are in real life, the better the connection becomes. And I think that's because there's a lot of people who just read, especially the executives, especially the executives, they spot BS from a mile away, right? Because a lot of people on LinkedIn, they talk a big game, they do this, and here's the step-by-step strategy, etc. But, behind the scenes, they're struggling, and it's clear from an executive who's struggling and who's not, right? And who's like trying to pander to it. And so if I'm an executive and I'm looking to, build brand or whatever you want to call it, like be real and say the truth, the closer to the truth you can get, the better.
Cool. So I appreciate that. That's authenticity. I'm all about that. I love that. We share that value. Let's talk about if they do not build a brand, what are they sacrificing right now? And I'm talking from a business standpoint, from an individual standpoint. Yeah. What are they risking?
The thing is that you're missing out on just the connections that the problem is you don't know what you missed out on. That's the problem. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know what you missed out on, and so it's hard to visualize what it is like to be on it, right? Because all you hear about people saying on it. So you really miss out on a lot of great relationships, that you could have had, that could have led to business, that otherwise you wouldn't have. And so it's more of like, it's the missing out on things. It's hard to put a metric to it.
Opportunity
but just
loss.
Know you're missing out on it. Yeah,
right,
it's opportunity loss. It is opportunity. Like it's deal pipeline. It's a new job that you're gonna miss. And so what happens here? And that's why you say on LinkedIn is now people are on the platform. Hey, I'm looking for a job. Right, I want to do things. Hey, it's great. But the question people ask is, where were you for the past year? And then it's hard to gauge how smart somebody is, or if I want to hire them based off of just their LinkedIn profile, resume, regardless of how optimized it is, yeah. and that's the part too, as well, as like when you need it the most, right? When you need it the most, it has to, your brand has to be there for you. And that's the part of it. It's like I think it was like an insurance policy. You know what I mean? It's there, always on. And then when you need it, it comes through. And that's the way I look at it.
Cool. Well, I want to talk about one thing that many people don't know, this word that you use in your business a lot, which is top of mind. What does that mean? Because I think it's connected to the branding. How does that work together?
I'm sorry, one more time. What's the word that brings it together?
Top of mind. To get like top of mind. Just so that people remember you as what you do, so you always are like at top of mind, so that purchase, that journey of when they need you, you're there, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So it's just top of mind. And it's also just like, it's not about even telling people what you do. It's just about showing people what you do over the course of 12 months. I would look at that. And if you can show people what you do over the course of 12 months, then they'll think of you. I can't tell you how many people have re-engaged with me on emails that I've sent to them like a year ago, and then all of a sudden they find the email, type of thing. It's like, that's the power of it, is that emails that weren't responded to a year ago get responded to. And that's the power of being top of mind for LinkedIn.
Cool. So when we talk about branding, I want you to tell me a little bit more about this experience that you've done. You didn't post for a year. I figure most people get lazy. I mean, running your own social media, it's like, do I do Instagram? Do I do, which one do I choose? TikTok, it's like, it can get you dizzy with all these options. So a lot of people are not posting on LinkedIn. And so now you did. And what kind of results did you see? I mean, you mentioned people talking and coming out of the woodwork after a year. Was there anything else substantial that really kind of said, this is something everyone should be doing?
Well, I mean, for me, especially when I moved to Dubai here, like 30 days ago, like I've been connected with so many great people that have been here just because I've talked about some people from the US, people from the UK are connecting me, to people here. And that's the power of it, and especially with choosing your platform, whatever, like, go where your audience is, go where it feels natural to you, and I think one thing too, as well, is now I wouldn't sleep on TikTok either. I mean, TikTok is where the distribution is, to be honest. And so you're going to see me. I mean, maybe next time we'll talk about TikTok once I've mastered that. But that's really where the views are. I mean, I did a test on TikTok, and I got a few videos that are over 1 million views, and it works. It works really well. And so I think a combo of that plus TikTok would work wonderful.
Cool. So we're running out of those 15 minutes. I told you they go quick. Robbie's here, CEO of No Middle. I love that we met when when we were connected by a mutual person that we know in the business world that one of us worked with and another one recently met. And like these connections just morph and they turn into great relationships, which is always amazing. Now, I wanted to just mention one thing that I love is the book that you wrote. So talk to us really quick about that book, because I love it. And I think it will resonate with a lot of people that are dealing with customers, particularly like the customers they don't want to be dealing with. What's it called?
Fire Me, I Beg You. So the book is called Fire Me, I Beg You. If you're miserable with your job, and you feel like you want to jump off a ledge, this book is for you. And actually too, even if you're unemployed, and you want to learn how to grow like a contracting business or just grow your career, etc. It speaks the truth. It's all, real stories from the ground, how I built my career. But if you're miserable, regardless of situation, Fire Me, I Beg You is for you. It's on Amazon. I just realized it's also available in Dubai, which is great. So God bless Amazon.
Yeah, God bless Amazon. Well, we're around the world going global with the Bizz Advisors and Smart Impressions, where we're helping you with tips. Now, I would say the 3 takeaways I got from this call is no matter who you connect with, on LinkedIn, you're connected for life. So get connecting, right? The other one is connections are going to take time. So don't expect that they're going to just convert tomorrow. That relationship that you built maybe a year ago may convert later on when they need your services, right? And the third is really be authentic. So Robbie, I can't thank you enough for your advice, your expertise. Robbie Abed, who is the CEO of No Middle, who's helping go-to-market businesses get into the Middle East and Saudi Arabia, which is the next kingdom that's going to take over the world. Looking forward to see the next brand that you're going to create, the brand Brilliance for. Thank you so much for coming to our call.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks everyone for being here. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.